All right, welcome to Skill Over Legacy Podcast. This is episode 9. I got the regular gang here with me, but we got a special guest, my boy Crafty. Y'all welcome my boy. They call me Crafty, Mr. Talk to Himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, all that good stuff.
Oh, what's up? I'm Crafty.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. All right. So what we gonna start off with right now is this the best MVP race we've had in recent years, like in as far as we go back. Huh?
So for the people that are looking at this episode,
What?
I'm gonna break down what he said. Because you did sound like R2D2 Big Dog.
Oh Lord, that was bad.
Basically, he said, "Is this the best MVP race that we've seen in years? Like the closest one." All right,
Try talking again.
Try talking again.
Am I good now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, this is the best. Do y'all think this is the best one?
Yeah.
In
100%.
recent time, absolutely. There's so many guys that like you got Jokic, Dame, Curry, Luka, Braun pre-injury, Embiid pre-injury. So many guys that have a shot.
100%.
Even people making the case for Harden now, like they're not crazy when they say that.
Dude, I think any three of those guys on the Nets has a case for MVP, even Kyrie Irving. 100%.
The goat.
So that's how many people? At least 9 people that have a genuine case for MVP?
Yeah, and that's crazy because usually we only have like 2 people. Like, for instance, literally last year with first place votes, it was just Giannis and just Harden. No one else got a first place vote.
And we didn't even mention Paul George, who's averaging like 24, shooting 50, 44, 90 right now. Which
Like,
is
there's so much talent that could win MVP. Like, I think at the end of the year, instead of us being like, oh, it's definitely going to be Giannis, or like how last year there was half people were like, oh, it's definitely going to be James Harden, or it's definitely going to be Giannis. Like, we're going to have that thing. We're going to have that, but with everybody. Like, one guy's going to be like, oh, it's definitely going to be Jokic. Are you kidding me? Next guy's going to be like, it's Damian Lillard. What's wrong with you? Like, there's so many options for who could possibly win MVP.
Mhm.
But I think it makes it more interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
way
yeah,
better.
it's definitely fantastic.
Do you think
to watch.
it's going to be like this, like from here on out? Like, do you think this is how the league's going to be? Like, where there's just so many talents that it's going to be hard to differentiate just 1 or 2 MVPs that are like definite?
Yeah.
I sure hope it is.
I hope so.
I think it just goes along with how talented the NBA is getting. My favorite way to show an example is, I believe it was 2014. Kevin Durant led the league in scoring with 27 points per game, but now with 27 points per game, I don't even think he's a top 10 scorer in the league. Like,
That's crazy.
which is ridiculous.
that's just how talented and how fast a pace the game is getting, that these kind of talents can show like no other.
It's crazy. And we forget, too, the only thing that's keeping Bradley Beal out of the MVP race is that the Wizards are garbage.
Facts.
Yeah.
If they were sniffing a playoff, he'd be in the MVP race. He's averaging 34.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. Like,
Also, even if I forgot about this one too, like I said this a lot preseason, and I guess I have to stick by it now because it's happening. I was saying if the Suns were finishing as a top 3 seed, Chris Paul should be considered.
100%.
Yeah.
And now they are. So he has to be considered. Like,
I
he
agree.
is.
2005
And people are saying it.
2005 reparations.
No, what was it, 2008?
2008 reparations.
Well, I mean, I think even if you consider it in the way of like how valuable a player is, I don't know how you could argue that almost any player is as valuable as Chris Paul when you look at how the Suns were doing last year and where they're at now.
Yeah.
you could even look at the
for
Thunder
sure.
last year too.
Exactly. And he's pretty much one of the, like, the Suns didn't do a whole lot other than get Chris Paul.
They got Chris Paul and Jay Crowder.
I'm telling you, Jay Crowder ain't the MVP.
He's definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Chris Paul's impact is crazy.
It's way beyond stats.
Chris Paul
Yeah.
and LeBron had that same effect. Like, if I leave, nigga, you a lottery team right now.
You guys are-
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got.
But if I'm here, we're in there. You feel me? We're good. But if you leave, but the sad thing about that is Chris Paul needs to stop. At the end of the day, he just ain't LeBron. Go ahead and get on the team that's going to already win, and you can add your winning mentality to them. Stop going to the Phoenix Suns and get losing to LeBron. Because I love this.
He's spreading his good energy. He getting the young guys prepared.
Hey,
but imagine Chris
He's
Paul
making
in a
his
contender.
impact felt elsewhere
Imagine
like nobody
that.
ever has.
I like that, but I need to see Chris Paul put that ring on his finger.
Not
to
about
see
you.
that.
I can almost guarantee
What?
I think by the end of his career, he will have a ring. I think he's going to make one selfish move towards the end of his career.
He
He's a
has
free
to.
agent after this year. He can.
I want to see him on a contender because I want to see him take a contender, like someone from a contender to where the Nets are at now, like an obvious choice.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. His only sights should be on that man named LeBron Quintiferous James. Go play with LeBron, bro. Get a ring. Retire. Get out of there.
It's been rumored for years. It's supposed to have been happening for like the last 5 years.
The banana boat. Make it
Get
happen.
Melo on the team.
Sign Melo on the veteran minimum. Make it happen.
That's what I'm
Bring
You
saying.
ain't come out of
Listen,
retirement.
Listen,
Right.
it's y'all playing. Listen, we playing chess. Y'all niggas playing checkers. Listen,
He's
Listen.
playing checker.
listen. Why
He's saying we. for him
Why
and
go
Chris
to the
Paul.
Why go to the Lakers? You know, why go to play with LeBron when you're not a free agent? Why get traded over there? Why? He's still gonna be there next season. Go as a free agent. Get him for the free ball.
Doesn't he have? Isn't his contract up after this season?
Exactly. We're talking about last season. Like why didn't he go to the Lakers last season?
No,
And we-
next year.
And we
Next
both-
year.
we both
See,
know
but right now
Chris
he's just spreading his good vibes, his positive energy.
Paul-
Man, I ain't
Your
trying
dog?
to hear all that.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
trying to
wait,
hear that.
wait next year for him to go to like one of
Exactly.
the teams in
Wait
the
next
bottom
year.
teams, and then we just replay this.
He's gonna
Oh
sign
no!
with the Magic.
Why would you wish that upon him?
I'm
like
not
that?
wishing it. I'm just saying, like, if that were to happen, we'd go back to this, and then
crazy.
Chris Paul the type to be like, dang, the New York Knicks are just missing me. Let's go get it done.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Make Julius Randle even better, right? He
Hey,
just making the young go good.
But at the end of the day, when Julius Randle is faced with James Harden and Kevin Durant, they are losing. Like they're losing.
Well, at the end of the day, when Tom Thibodeau is just playing Chris Paul 50 minutes a night, y'all, he's not-
SGA top 10.
Stop.
SGA top 10 for a reason. And it ain't
Yes,
Steven
sir.
Adams.
I appreciate Chris
Ain't
Paul
Steven Adams.
and what he's done to the game, but listen, I just need you to finish your career with a ring. That's all I want. I think that's all everybody wants. Like,
And
Blake Griffin
no
couldn't
one
even
would,
go
Blake
get a
Griffin
ring.
wouldn't even got traded to the Pistons without
Chris
Chris
Paul,
Paul.
listen. I just want Chris
you
Paul.
know, and he probably gonna get a ring before dude.
Okay, but and that's why we playing checkers. We playing chess. We playing chess.
There's about 3 people
Blake
Chris
Griffin
Paul
couldn't-
used to play with that's
Blake Griffin
on their way to a championship right now.
Blake Griffin couldn't get on the Lakers if he wanted to. But who can?
They would have.
No niggas was not gonna sign Blake
They
Griffin.
would have.
Boy,
They
what?
would have signed him.
They would have
Bro, what? No.
Any
No,
team,
not
if Blake Griffin says, "Okay, I want to play for you," any team's going to pick him up.
Yeah.
Any team is going to pick him up.
He just wanted to play with KD because you ain't gonna get no minutes playing behind Anthony Davis.
That's my point. That was my point.
You're not going to win no ring playing with Devin.
No,
Booker.
but he could go there. It's just not in his best interest. But
Well,
he
okay,
could
that's
go.
what I meant because they're just not going to go on it.
But Chris Paul, hey man, I love you, and I love that you're making these teams go from the 14th seed to getting kicked out the second round. But I don't want to see you get kicked out the second round. Devin Booker got 10, 12 years of his career left. You got about
Checkers.
45 minutes. You need to go ahead.
Checkers.
I ain't
Wait till
trying
off
to do that.
season.
You must be
Checkers.
talking about
nigga.
checkers. Fast food is what you
Playing
talking about.
checkers.
It can't be. That's crazy.
This off
All
season.
right, so
well, the thing is, if he gets a ring at the end of his career, I guarantee you, no real NBA fan is going to call it like a ring
I just
chase
want
or a
him-
pity ring. Like we're all just going to be
Yeah,
happy
just
the man got a
get
ring.
it.
I just want Chris Paul to be one of my top 3.
And then listen, think about this. Think about this,
I
right?
just want that to happen.
When he signed his last contract as a free agent, he was in the position to win. He just got hurt. So he know what he doing when he a free agent. Just wait. Checkers.
Listen,
You playing checkers.
I hope and pray that's what's going on.
I hope
But I
you're
promise, if Chris Paul signs with the Chicago Bulls, I'm gonna throw something.
Hey,
I'm
whoa,
gonna throw
that
something.
would be a decent. That would be a decent place to go right
That'd be
now.
kind of fun.
Hey,
That would be kind of good.
That's the thing, though. We don't got time for fun, Chris Paul. You need to go to a for sure
That's not
championship
fun.
team.
Hey,
Go win now today.
If the Nets not gonna have that team next year, more than likely, he go to
If
the
they
Bulls. They
win-
might fuck around this. They gonna come out the East. I ain't gonna lie.
If they go to the finals, they're gonna run it back. If they go to because here's the thing: if they go to the finals and lose to LeBron, they're running it back. If they lose
definitely.
before the finals, they're probably break up.
Oh,
If they go to the finals and lose to LeBron, they're gonna run it back.
You
Okay,
know
but
they
what are
have
the
hurt.
chances that you think that the Lakers could actually beat the Nets this year? I actually want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. What are the
I
chances
don't-
that
I-
LeBron's Lakers beats that Net team?
Listen,
I don't bet physical money against LeBron James.
Yeah,
That just
I
won't
don't.
happen.
Yeah, I personally don't bet money against somebody who's just not human.
Yeah, so
He's just an alien.
So you
we
think
thought he
it's- you
could
think it's
take
possible?
down that team.
I
Yeah.
think the Nets are gonna win.
I
I
bet
think-
it.
I think the Nets are in the best position to win. But hey, we watch LeBron beat a team that didn't lose 10 games. So
I'm just saying, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this Nets team is better than the 73-9 Warriors team.
no,
I think
yeah.
they're- I think there's all around more
Individually-
talented. But
individually.
do you think LeBron? I mean, he's already taken down that 73-9 team. I don't know what kind of toll that would take on his body, but he's older now. I know this is something we can't say about LeBron because man doesn't age. But do you really think at this year 18 or 19, whatever it is now, 36 years old, do you think he could really take on that Net team almost by himself? I mean, he's got Anthony Davis, but past that, I mean,
Listen,
as an Andre Drummond fan, he's not doing that.
listen. In year 18, I thought I would never say this is the best LeBron I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. That's the
That's
thing,
the best
man.
LeBron I've ever seen.
LeBron
I would
has
argue
gave
that.
us
I would
no
argue that.
reason. LeBron has gave us no reason to doubt him. Every time we say, "Dang, can LeBron do this at this age, at this time?" and he does it. So it's like, at this point, he's gonna have to show me he can't before I say he can.
There's been a
he's
few
gonna have to
times
show.
I personally bet against LeBron James when he was down against that 73-9 team. I said he wasn't going to win. And then the next year when I said the Warriors were going to come out smoke him at 20 points per game every night, and he almost won due to J.R. Smith just being off the Henny.
Oh my God, bro.
I just stopped betting against him.
Like LeBron gets into a different mode. Like when it's like regular season LeBron and playoff LeBron are two completely different people. Like it's just,
I mean,
it's
that
crazy.
That is true. You could put LeBron on the Knicks to be 100% fair, and in the playoffs, they could be the 8th seed, but he'll take them to the finals.
And he'll take them to the finals.
He might.
Like,
I mean, he
man,
might
the
win,
dude is
like-
incredible.
Now, it's weird. So one thing that people really get confused about me is I hate LeBron James. I like basketball.
Oh my God!
I
The
live,
GOAT?
I live in Ohio, and
Mm.
I hate the city of Cleveland. So I've grown up to hate LeBron James. And it's a mentality that has not changed me. Now, I respect LeBron James, and he's absolutely one of the greatest basketball players to ever look at a basketball. Dude is insane. But as someone who hates LeBron, I don't know what he can't do. This man became a playmaker out of nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 years if he just messes around and leads the league in rebounds one year, just to say he's done all three.
Just because.
Me and Cam talk about this all the time. We just said one day LeBron's going to come out of the locker room and he's going to be dribbling and sham-godding like he's Kyrie Irving. Like, he just does things and it just works out. And like people are like, "Oh, LeBron, his shots got to get better because right now his shots abysmal." He comes out the locker room next season. I'll just be a 40% shooter all year.
I'll
That's
just hit him
fine.
from the logo. I'll just pull my best Curry
There
impression.
you go.
From the logo.
Like what? What the hell?
Yeah.
That I just don't understand. Like, there's just nothing he can't do. You know what? Luka is cut from a little bit of that cloth.
I 100% believe it. I 100% believe it.
If Luka polished it, because LeBron had to do some polishing. Everybody has to polish. But once he polishes his game, other than jump 50 feet in the air, I don't see anything he can't do. I just like he can do anything you need him to do.
Well, yeah, and I can agree with that. Like, if in the weirdest way possible, if Nikola Jokic and LeBron James had a baby, that's Luka Doncic.
That is a very great
That's
point.
He has the uncoordination of Nikola Jokic, the weird playmaking ability that like it doesn't look pretty, but it works. And then you have the abilities of LeBron James when it comes to his ability to get to the rim, even though he's not as strong, nowhere near as strong. It's not as fast. I see so much of both of their games in there. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's really smart. His IQ for the game is very overlooked. LeBron, Luka is actually LeBron's favorite player in the league.
Yeah, I read that one day and almost hung it up on my wall. Almost hung up the Bleacher Report on my wall.
He tried to get him. Apparently, he tried to get him on Team Nike, and they wasn't trying to hear it. Apparently, LeBron early on, like before Luka even like really got going in the NBA, he believed, he was like, this dude is going to be incredible. And he was trying to get him signed to Team Nike. They were like, nah. And now look, now he's just.
Well, there's
Luka
a thing. There's a thing
at
with
the
that.
end of LeBron's career. When LeBron retired, he bring on Luka. Hey.
Yes, sir.
And then when AD retired, Luka come and bring Trae Young.
No, you stop there. I'm not a Trae Young fan. Stop there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't like Trae Young.
I don't like Trae Young, dude. I went to a Cavs game with my best friends, and there was a heckler next to us.
Well, that was your first mistake. You went to a damn Cavs game.
I live in Ohio. Where else am I supposed to go? I mean, an Indy game is technically closer, but those tickets are expensive compared to Cavs games.
In 2021, I'd just rather see you at a Browns game. Why did you go there?
No, whoa, watch yourself.
Cavs.
The reason I hate Cleveland is because of the Browns. It was fun to watch Jared Allen block like every shot.
I just love Colin Sexton so much. I just love him so much.
He's a dog.
Like I was trying to say with the whole Nike thing. Now there's a weird prejudice in basketball that comes with European players. Like European player, it's nowhere near as bad as it is with Asian players, because Asian players almost never get drafted in the NBA, almost purely because of the fact that they're Asian. When it comes to European players, even Stephen A. Smith, his quote about Luka, I don't give a damn about that kid from Europe. I mean, the kid from Europe.
I don't even know why you said that. Like, why did you even say that? But we don't like him. He's becoming weird.
I think Luka. I mean, I obviously he should have been the first pick in that draft. I mean, I don't think it matters what team. I don't think there's a system Luka doesn't fit. So I don't understand why anyone got drafted ahead of him at all.
Marvin Bagley.
Marvin Bagley.
I think the only reason why you don't like Trae Young is because he's doing all this. You're not a big empty. You're like everybody's a big stats need to translate to wins. The Hawks stink. If he was to be, I'll tell you this. If Trae Young was to be like y'all second playmaker on the Mavericks, you would love him.
No. I see. That's the problem. I hated Trae Young in college, and there's a reason for it.
Oh wow.
I love Jimmer Fredette's story until he got to the NBA. Okay, I was trying to be my NBA analyst self. I was like, Trae Young's the next Jimmer Fredette. That's facts. And then obviously he came into the league and he's not. But I have that free mindset that one day he's just gonna be just like Jimmer Fredette. And I mean, I have a Jimmer Fredette jersey, but like I called him being the next Jimmer Fredette. I thought he would. Obviously, I was wrong. Bad take. But that hate for him is still in.
Somehow Trae Young makes it work, man. He makes it work.
He's been having a little bit of a rough year, but I mean, he's still the reason the Hawks have any wins at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Basically. And apparently their coach was just a demon. He was a demon. Mm-hmm. Their past coach, he just was ridiculous. All right, so boom. Limshady. Let's talk about it. So what is your personal opinion about what's going on in the front office?
I mean, I should probably start by like summarizing what JJ Reddick said, right?
Yeah.
So JJ basically said on his podcast that he requested a trade from the Pelicans over this winter. He had a serious issue with like being in New Orleans with his family being in Brooklyn, and he asked the Pelicans to please respect his request and trade him somewhere in the Northeast so that he could be close to his family.
Wow.
And they turned him to Dallas.
And they sent him further. That's
man.
Now
I didn't know that was the reason. Now we got to cut him. I didn't know where his family was.
He then, on the day of the trade deadline, he was like, well, let's find out, because if I don't get traded, then they've told me they'll buy me out and I can just go where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said he was with his wife and she saw that she had missed calls from his agent. So then he looked at his phone. He had missed calls. called his agent, and he was on his way to Dallas. So he was.
That's terrible.
That's garbage.
It's really bad, and like that. He said that he doesn't. Well, he said he had a relationship with David Griffin, which makes me think he doesn't anymore. He said that people from his agency are probably going to be reluctant to work with David Griffin going forward.
Damn.
He said something else. He said something else that was pretty damning. He said something about Stan. I don't remember what it was.
I'd love to hear that, as long as it's slander.
It wasn't good.
Terrible.
It wasn't good. It was like
boneheaded coach.
Oh, he said that the reason he wanted to play in New Orleans was because of Drew Holiday.
Oh,
and then as soon as they traded Drew Holiday, that's when he put in his trade request, because he knew that with Stan coming as the new head coach, he wasn't going to really work in the system anymore, because he's probably the least switchable player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, JJ Reddick, for the first 30 minutes of his podcast, just ripped the Pelicans front office, and rightfully so.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Wow.
And this brings me to a point. Stop talking about these players that do these teams dirty, because these teams don't care. They don't care about you. Like,
that's what
you're lucky to
said
be on
too.
Like, you're lucky to be on a team that cares.
He was like, I think I was like naive in thinking the team was going to do something that wasn't in its best interest by buying me out. And like, obviously they were going to look for a trade. He was just very frustrated that he's now further away. Also, he like was very adamant while he was speaking that this is not an indictment on Dallas. Like, he's excited to go play with Luka, but he just wishes he could be playing close to home.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's just
I just need to buy him out. That's just the right thing to do. That's what I'm hearing.
JJ to the next this coming summer,
probably. He's a free agent.
They get
now
Joe Harris.
The only thing that I see, like the only thing I want to add to everything you said is, first off, I am on JJ's side. After what I read, I learned even more from you. But from what I read, I am on JJ Reddick's side. But I think it is also important to understand that there's always two sides of a story.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe that we should go with what the players say more than whatever the organization says, because that's an organization against one man and maybe an agent. But I am curious to hear, like, the Pelicans released a statement and said that they wanted to do something to help him get closer to his family, but it was COVID precautions that stopped that, or something along those lines.
Well, sounds like
no, I can actually.
Malarkey.
JJ's been hurt for like a month, and he's been in Brooklyn. He's been home.
Yeah,
he hasn't been in New Orleans. So maybe something with like his in New Orleans physical, they had to like fly him back to New Orleans and then move him to Dallas instead of doing like flights into different directions. But that's just logistics, and that's just, excuses for David Griffin. Like he literally went through like a full, pretty much everybody on the Pelicans staff, and like thanked them on his podcast. He was talking about assistant coaches. He was talking about his teammates. He was talking about people in the communications department at the stadium, but he didn't thank David Griffin or Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah,
understandable.
I feel like that's some cap, because I literally just saw James Harden get flown across the country to Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think it's
just got flown across the country, and Andre Drummond has just got flown, and Victor Oladipo just getting flown across
all the way across the country.
All the way across the country.
Sounds like a bunch of BS to me. These teams don't care, man. They don't care. So when I see people like James Harden being like, man, forget Houston, I'm finna go to these clubs, finna do my thing until they let me go. It's not the right way to handle things, but these organizations are slimy. They don't care about you. So if you need to do something to put them in between a rock and a hard place, because that's what I thought James Harden did. I thought James Harden was purposefully doing those things.
Oh yeah.
So they had to act quickly, and when you have to act quickly, you better do what I say, because you have to act fast. You don't have time to be finding out where you're going to send me. I'm kind of making a fool of you guys. So you either figure it out now, send me where I want to go, or you just keep letting me do this. And they were like, well, okay, we have to figure something out. We have to let you go where you want. Like, so JJ should do the same thing. Get those guys.
One thing I find crazy about NBA trade specifically, and it shows even further with how JJ Redick found out he was traded, which was a bunch of missed calls from his agent. How often do we hear about a player knowing about their trade before it happens?
Facts.
Not
yo,
often.
like,
Kelly
Yeah.
Oubre found out through Twitter.
One of my videos did really well about that. I'm like, that has to
Shams?
be a damn joke.
Shams and Woj found out way before Kelly Oubre himself knew. He's the one getting traded. They don't tell these players that they're thinking about trading them, that they did trade them, that they should maybe look for a new house,
Right.
a new school for their kids. Organizations don't think about this. I mean, I understand they can maybe try to justify it, be like, well, we pay them millions of dollars. It shouldn't be that hard. They're still people.
Yeah, it's common decency.
So Lonzo
like-
was doing the thing when he got traded, or like to NOLA, and it was like him. So they were all in LA, and he was just in his car, and then his homeboy Demo was like, "Pull over, I need to talk to you," and like he didn't know, and then like he turned up the radio, and that's how he figured out he got traded, and he called all like Josh Hart, BI, and all of them, and they were like, "Can you believe this actually happened?" They were all shocked and all hurt. D Rose had a video of him crying. Like,
Oh yeah, I saw that video. He was in the middle of like filming like a documentary or something. Gets a call and they're like, "Yeah, you just got traded," and he's like, "Hold
It's
on,
not
I need a
cool."
minute."
Kelly Oubre situation, he walked into the gym and somebody was just looking at him. He was like, "What?" And they were like, "You need to check your phone." He's like, "What?" And he looked at his phone and he got traded. And he just looked, and everybody, he said he looked up and everybody was just looking dead at him. Like, do you know how weird that is? Like,
Must be,
what
like,
the
embarrassing, bro.
embarrassing. Like, you came here to practice and literally we just have to watch you leave. It's like watching your best friend get kicked out of class, like get in a whole lot of trouble and get kicked out of class.
And
Like, that's not cool.
We as fans have time to process the fact that they were traded, think about whether we think it was a good trade or not, see if that team can win a championship or not, see how this trade affects his teams before they even know that they're getting flown out to another city the next day.
Yeah.
I find these things so crazy.
And this like JJ Redick thing too, like it's just like another example in a unbelievable list of pre-David Griffin, with David Griffin. Just the front office in New Orleans has been doing this shit for so long.
Oh my.
Okay, talk crazy.
Let's hear it. Come on.
Just like
He's sick of it.
I'm so tired of it, man. Like, and this is
Become
like,
a Mavs fan. We're usually good.
I haven't even said like one nice thing about JJ Redick this year, but I'm still mad about this. Like, from Chris Paul and how poorly his trade was handled, to letting David West go, to everything that happened with Anthony Davis and how poorly we handled his whole time in New Orleans, to what's eventually going to happen with Ingram and Zion, and this past week with JJ and Lonzo. It's just, how many times in a row are you going to mishandle your best players and just be this team that sits, on the edge of the playoffs forever? It's beyond David Griffin. It's beyond ownership. It's just this team, this franchise has had no leadership.
Yeah,
Like,
no culture, man. No culture.
When the NBA and David Stern sold the team, like with the Chris Paul one is a little bit understandable. Like, the Vito trade to the Lakers was because they were selling the team and they needed to keep the value of the team high. It is what it is. But like, selling the team to the Benson family, who also owns the Saints, like, is it a successful family that has a recognizable name in New Orleans? Yes. Do they care about basketball? No.
Oh.
Yeah, you need someone who cares.
The Benson family has done a really good job with the Saints. The Saints are like everything to the city of New Orleans. The Pelicans are a complete afterthought. Like, and until I don't want to call for the Bensons to like sell the team or anything. I just want them to care about the team and like pay attention to who you hire, because this shit happened in Cleveland when Gilbert was there. He wrote that letter to LeBron after he left. That guy's a child. Why are you letting him run our team? Like,
wait, what happened with that? Wait, whoa. Did I miss
remember that when LeBron originally left Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that when he came back?
It was when he left the first time.
When he left, he wrote him like a letter. It was just like,
we don't.
It was
need
crazy.
You. We could do all this without you. You're not.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's our GM now. He should have been fired that day he wrote that letter and never got another NBA job.
100%.
In 2021, what is it? 12 years
10
later?
10 years later.
He's still got a job, and he's still mishandling veteran players, guys who put in the time. They put in all this work. I'm so frustrated. Like, it's just...
He basically forced Anthony Davis to sit down. Like, Anthony Davis was at his boiling point. He tried everything. He got y'all to the playoffs. He got y'all out the mud. And he was like, you know what? Forget everybody here. I'm just not going to play anymore. And then he took all the bullets for that. Like, he took all the bullets for that. And that's man.
I was upset and frustrated when Anthony Davis requested a trade because I felt like we were like in this state of just being close. Like we weren't a great team. We weren't even really a good team. But like with Anthony Davis, you're always close.
Mm-hmm.
And they always just, you have Drew Holiday, you have your second star. Like I love Drew. He's one of the greatest players in our franchise's history, but like he's not the second option on a team that can contend. Like
100%.
It's just so frustrating, and it's just another example on this endless list of just.
Hey, maybe they need to sell the team. Talk crazy, sell them. Because if you don't care, sell them.
These are my last two things about what Liam was saying. So the first time LeBron left, like I don't know if y'all know this, but during his meeting, the team meeting, they knew that he liked Family Guy. So they were like playing Family Guy episodes and had like an episode with him in it. And they were playing that for the meeting and didn't do anything else. And like saying, come back. Like that was
what time is?
And then like I went to New Orleans. Like,
where is this going?
I believe it's going somewhere else, guys.
I'm so confused.
It's just an example of Gilbert being bad.
Yeah, he was talking about like that was what Gilbert.
Oh, that was the same guy.
That was his pitch. That was his pitch.
Okay.
You're in Family Guy. Come join our team.
Right.
Like
that's
what
what
Liam was saying about how like they care about the Saints. So like right before Corona hit, I was in New Orleans. So like during Mardi Gras and everything, and so I'm driving. Like we're riding by like all like downtown New Orleans. I look at the Superdome. It's huge, and then I look at the Smoothie King Center. It is so minuscule compared to. It's like have you seen SpongeBob? It's a Weenie Hut. And then
Weenie Hut
Junior. Like, it's so
I will say for a reason for that, most NBA stadiums are a lot smaller than football stadiums, though.
But I'll tell you this though, the Raiders Stadium and the Golden State Warriors Stadium, it's not like that.
I can get that.
And the
Raiders Stadium is bigger.
Brand new.
Yeah,
it's brand new.
Even in Charlotte, I live like 4 hours away from Charlotte. There's the Bank of America Stadium, and then there's the Time Warner Cable Arena, and like. Of course, the stadium's more open and bigger, but the arena is amazing. Like the arena is top notch. It's amazing, and it's huge.
And then I can say something. Being from Atlanta, we just got new basketball and new football stadium recently, and we suck in both. We've never been good in both. So I don't see how that works.
Now I want to ask Liam here. So you've talked, about how terrible the Pelicans front office is. You're very frustrated, obviously. Now, if we remember the beginning of last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I want to say it came out that LeVar said that his son wants out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, then yesterday, I believe it was, Lonzo said he's very happy in New Orleans. Who do you believe?
I believe that Lonzo's happy in New Orleans, the city. I don't think he's happy in New Orleans, the franchise.
Okay.
Like, even JJ was saying, like, even though he was far away from home, like, this past, year and a half in New Orleans, it's been one of his favorite places he's ever lived. It's a great place to live. But like, there's so many, the list of like reasons to want to play for this franchise is so small. It's basically that you get to play with Ingram and Zion, and that's it. Like,
so do you think that LeVar meant it as he doesn't like playing for New Orleans, and Lonzo said, I like to live in New Orleans? Like, do you think
I think Lonzo was doing a little play on words so that he doesn't say he doesn't want to play.
I don't think
I like New Orleans.
Again, it's another team. I don't think any self-respecting man would like to play in New Orleans.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You can't. No matter how much, it's weird. Because we see so many players be open about what goes on in these business practices. And yet, if a player was to come out and say, I don't like it here, it stinks, he still catches all the flack for that. Just for a story. Not even because they want to talk about it. Just because, well, this will be a good headliner and we can talk bad about this person because people will listen. Like, so I don't think he wants that on him. And then the old GMs, they see that and they take it a whole different way. They feel like, well, is your attitude bad? Are you bad for the locker room? Are you a locker room cancer? Like, he just didn't.
Speaking of, that'll lead us to Stephen A. and the Kevin Durant situation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Stephen A. and Russ. Oh my goodness. Here's how I feel about it. I'll just give my quick synopsis.
You're gonna have to run me through this. I haven't heard about this.
So basically, Stephen A. Smith pulled the whole, well, the way that you play ain't gonna win you nothing, so I don't care. That whole thing about Russell Westbrook.
As if he hasn't been to the finals. He doesn't been to the finals. Like he's gotten somewhere that a lot of players haven't gotten. Like that doesn't.
And I don't like when they say, well, it doesn't translate to winning. When he was averaging triple doubles on the Thunder, it was like an 84 win percentage. They only won when he did that.
That's facts. And then that he led them to the playoffs single-handedly with one shot, that one last shot to put them above the Nuggets.
And I get it. You don't want Russ to be your best player. You know what I'm saying? And people always go, well, he played with KD and did it. All that is context. You need to put context in every situation that Russ has played in because the context plays a big part. You know what I'm saying? And it was just bad timing. He just had 35, 14, and 21. You could have saved that for another segment, another day, bro. Because when Russell Westbrook's gone, we are going to miss Russell Westbrook when he's not here anymore.
100%.
Russell Westbrook has single-handedly one of the best regular season games I've ever seen in my life. That 50-point triple-double with that shot that took them to the playoffs is easily one of the best regular season moments ever.
100%.
Right, that's probably the best game moments ever.
Ever.
Who else could forget about the 2020 and 20 game? Now, we heard about myths of that with Will Chamberlain, but we got to see it with Russell Westbrook. Will Chamberlain is the only other player besides Russell Westbrook to have a 2020 game.
Who is that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You don't believe in Will Chamberlain. I forgot about that.
I just don't know who you're talking about.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
Anywho.
You're gonna invite me to come on here and disregard the fact that Will Chamberlain exists.
I'm bamboozled. No, you keep on saying the name, but I promise you, I cannot.
I'm bamboozled.
Yeah, I just don't understand who this person is. But back to the people that actually are real. Yeah. Russell Westbrook. Stephen A. Smith was kind of a dork for that. You just should have let that simmer. Let him have his moment. It was a crazy game. He put them on his back and they won. Just leave it. You could have left that conversation for another day. I didn't like it. It was
at this point, if you're at this point, how many journalists and writers and people in the media can get a story out of Russell Westbrook? It's just the same shit.
Yeah.
I've been writing about Russell Westbrook. Oh, play style. He's a stat pattern, empty stats. Y'all been writing about that shit for 5 years now. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah,
nobody cares, bro.
Yeah,
and it's
he's a dog.
Anytime he's had an adequate team, he's gotten the job done. I remember
as much as he can.
I will never forget when as soon as KD left, everybody was like, "This is a lottery team. They're not going anywhere." And then they go to the playoffs. Now it's like, "Oh, he couldn't even get out the first round. He didn't play good." Well, he wasn't better than the Jazz. And then Chris, when the hell were they supposed to beat the Warriors? When were they supposed to beat the Warriors?
There's no way it would happen.
He's not LeBron and KD and Curry and Jordan and all. Stop.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
Bro,
but we held him to the standard.
Yeah, there's some people who tier players like LeBron, KD, Michael Jordan, Kobe, and then anybody else under that stretch. Anybody who doesn't play like that.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they hold everybody, even if they think they're trash, to that standard.
Right.
It's so backwards.
Bro, he's not LeBron. He's not about to take a rookie Sabonis and Jeremy finals. He's not going to be able to do that. And they're saying triple-double this, triple-double. The fact that he's making a triple-double look easy to you should tell you something. I really want David from Stadium stadium reports to go out there and get a triple double. Please go do it. If it's so easy. If it
Right.
is so easy,
The fact that when a player gets triple doubles now, it almost doesn't make the headlines. You can thank Russell Westbrook for it.
Literally,
Like
you can thank him.
Luka gets triple doubles like once a week at this point, and I don't even hear about half of them. And I watch the game because they don't. It's not something
why?
that's impressive anymore because Russell did it so often.
And you know
He's
why?
still doing
Because
it so often.
while Luka's getting 27, 10, and 11, Russell Westbrook will suit up and go get 40, 23, and 20. Like, that's ridiculous.
We forget about the fact that in his first triple-double season, it was averaging a 30-point triple-double, not even just like any regular triple-double.
Yeah. Man.
Was that the season he won the scoring title as well?
Yes.
Yes.
He won a scoring title averaging a triple-double.
And I think
he won
Come on now.
and I think
he won a scoring title averaging a triple-double and won a scoring title and an assist title at the same time.
And
like, he's a dog. Like, and then what else do you
Player in
want?
NBA history to lead the league in points and assists twice.
and then people will say Oscar Robinson is this great as if he wasn't doing it against bums. Like, bro.
See, that's where I disagree with arguments. That's where I.
Well, in comparison,
I can go there.
Like, bro, if I put Darius Garland in the 60s, bro, he's going crazy. He's going like they had 50, 20, and 75. Like,
now that's a little bit of an exaggeration, especially the 75 assists.
Oh,
yeah.
not like that was.
He gonna got 75 damn assists.
But he's gonna be really, really good. And Russ is making it seem like Russ looks like he's playing in 1965 when he's on the court. The numbers are out of this world. Like, we literally just watched him average 20 something, have 20 plus assists, and nobody had anything good to say about it.
Nothing to say.
Stephen A. Smith just hops on right after.
He just did, like, what? Like that. Man, I'm telling you, when he leaves, we gonna see it. We're gonna look back at Russell Westbrook and all that he did, and people are gonna start over appreciating him when he's gone. But right now, we are so underappreciative of Russell Westbrook. Like, we have to appreciate him while he's here. Only one team can win. Only two teams have a shot. Cut the whole, well, it doesn't win any games. You can literally use that stupid analogy for Chris Paul and Luka Doncic. It doesn't make them any worse, though. Like, they're still amazing, and they still get you wins, and they're still top-tier NBA basketball players.
100%.
Like, cut that crap out. It's like they say, well, Rudy Gobert's type of play doesn't win you championships, but then to sit there and go, I mean, Russell Westbrook doesn't win you championships, but Rudy Gobert, I guess his play is just the best on the Jazz. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. Like, that's stupid. Like, that, I just don't understand how that works. But yeah, Russell Westbrook needs more appreciation. Now, let's get to the Kevin Durant drama. Man, I don't even know where to start. Kevin Durant, you're a demon. You're a demon. That's all I can say. You're a demon. Like,
Dude went in.
I don't like Michael Rappaport. You're a clown, but you're a demon, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, as he should, man. I can't stand Michael Rappaport.
Well, I even want to say
annoying.
on the side of Michael Rappaport, like, it's as easy as a block button, and he's pursuing legal action.
Right.
When he could have just hit block, and then he should have never said anything about it, to be 100% fair to, just because he's making him look worse. He has 600,000 followers. KD has 19 million. So you combine those and the fact that every news outlet caught on to this and spread it everywhere. He spread the places it didn't need to be. He could have just hit block and went on with his day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then told the story later on in his life, like, Kevin Durant, he tripped on me in my DMs one time.
You can't talk out of turn about KD and then try to defend yourself after he.
And plus, like, KD has not made it like a secret. Like, if you say something about him, like, he'll reply to you.
Right, that's my point. Like, that you can't talk crazy about KD and not expect anything.
Well, I think even one of the biggest things is that but pre-Golden State Warriors, KD would have never responded to any hate or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then once he goes
on
to
a
the
burner,
Warriors,
maybe.
On a burner, maybe. But now he doesn't use them. Now he just straight up, with his verified account, will go at you. But pre-Warriors, KD would not have touched that except maybe without a burner. you put that the hate that he got on top of that, he is once again still a human. There's only so much hate a human can take. And then put the Brooklyn on top of that. This man he's just fueled with rage because people are always telling him, "Oh, you're weak. Can't win without this. Can't win without this. You need a super
You're
team."
soft. You're emotional. You're a crybaby.
You say anything about him, he's gonna want to come at you now, just because he's trying to defend everything he's got. I guarantee you, he's gonna retire. When he retires, people are gonna say the same things they say about LeBron now, which is like people who don't think LeBron is the greatest player of all time. Well, he needed a super team to win. And KD's entire legacy is going to be tarnished by people like that.
Yeah, I feel like
and it's annoying.
I feel like he's going to get that Kobe treatment. They're going to be like, well, I know people who are already saying, well, Curry was better than him, and now they're going to say, now they're fucking saying that James Harden is better than him. That's just one take that's getting under my skin. If his name is not LeBron James, I'm choosing Kevin Durant. I'm just going to choose Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's just facts.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can get behind it.
Yeah, who do you think is better than Kevin Durant?
I think James Harden's a better player than Kevin Durant. I can get behind it.
Anyways.
No. This year, 100%. But I'm not saying any year before this. Kevin Durant. Most lethal scorer of all time. I'm talking about strictly this year.
Okay. We just talk about it as a whole.
Oh yeah, no, as a whole, there is no way James Harden is better than Kevin Durant. No.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about this year because the games that Kevin Durant plays, the games that Kevin Durant doesn't play, the team does better than when James Harden doesn't play and Kevin Durant does.
Yeah, well, because they lost their point guard. It's always harder losing your point guard than it is losing your wing scorer.
Yeah, I really value someone's effectiveness of when they leave, like when they're out of the rotation, for how much they matter for a team, for how good they are. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like value and how good they are coincide very closely to
me. Yeah. It's kind of tough with him, though, because Kevin Durant somewhat depends on a point guard. Because he's a wing. There's only so much he can do, like, especially because he's not the point forward type. Like, he's like a scorer type. So, yeah, James Harden, when he's out, you've lost so much more because he's the point guard.
But even then, they still have someone who can play point guard in Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Even though Kyrie is now, James Harden is much more of a point guard than Kyrie Irving is, which is not something I would have said 3 years ago. But you can still play Kyrie at point guard. I mean, he's still got that point guard mentality in him. Played point guard until this year.
Kyrie's as much of a point guard as Jamal Murray is. Not very much.
No.
I think Kyrie's a better playmaker than him, but they're cut from the same. They're not really great at being point guards. Like they're not too great at it. Like,
no,
you don't get that.
I disagree simply because I see Jamal Murray not being good at it. Kyrie is good at it, Kyrie just doesn't.
We saw in Boston, he just wasn't good at it.
Well,
he was good at being Kyrie.
This year,
that was 2 years ago. That was only a couple of years ago.
I mean,
let's be honest. I'm not saying he's as bad as Jamal Murray. I'm saying when it comes to running a point guard, they both don't do it as adequate as you'd want a point guard to do it. Like, of course, Kyrie's better at almost everything than Jamal Murray. Well, pretty much everything. Like, but they both aren't adequate point guards. Oh, I guess.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not adequate.
I heard
like
you,
that.
but
no, I understand what he's saying. He's saying they're more. He's more of the type of player than. Oh, okay. It's more of the type of player than like the skill. He's not saying Kyrie's exactly. I mean, Jamal Murray and him are the same if they were to be put at point guard, but more that how they fit in the point guard role. But I still disagree.
I don't think
we saw point guard Kyrie for the first up until now of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, even before James Harden joined the team,
he was playing.
Kyrie. He was the point guard.
Yeah, he was playing. In my personal opinion, I said this last episode. Before James Harden got there, he was just the best point guard. Like he was just playing like the best point guard in the league. Me and
I'm gonna always hold this above his head. He got a switch on Russell Westbrook. He didn't pass the ball. KD had Russell Westbrook on him, and he said, "Listen, But me,
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it. Me, not you.
Okay.
And that's just bad decision making.
Okay. Not a lot of people do it. Who did they play? The Rockets? That was true point guard shit.
Oh,
What he did against the Rockets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like 32 and 11 and 6.
Yeah, that he can do it like the people that you would call better point guards than him. He can do it like them. He just don't always do it.
Yeah, I mean, I still do 100% agree that James Harden is a better point guard than Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And I think Kyrie Irving's a really solid shooting guard. But also, we almost started an era of position with basketball. Like, why do we even mention what position they play? They're just good players, and they complement each
I
other well. One of
agree
them
with
is just
that
a ball
so much.
handler. One of them just brings the ball up. Like in an era of positionless basketball, I mean, we have people like Ben Simmons being point guards. Nikola Jokic played a preseason game as a point guard. Like, I almost feel like positions don't matter anymore. It's just we need one dude who's kind of tall, and we need one dude who knows how to dribble and pass just a little bit. Other than that, everybody else just can have a completely different skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also will say, like, whether you want to call like particular players a position or not, like it's about like the role you play. So you could still have guys that are playing, the wrong role, and I think Ben Simmons is like a great example of that. Like, just like you have, and like I think Jamal Murray is another example of that. Like someone who should probably play as a shooting guard or like a shooting guard type role. Like, I agree with positionless basketball, but I also think that like the roles that those positions set out for us are pretty good guidelines for like how we want particular players to play.
I think
Yeah.
that's just, but my rebuttal to that is like, I think that's just how we see it now. Just because of how ever changing the game is. I mean, I can see those guidelines, like the guidelines of a team that shoots threes years ago was absolutely insane. Like why take more than 10 threes a game? I think was the average before Steph Curry took 10 himself a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying right now. That makes perfect sense. But I think as the game evolves, we're going to get into a point of just straight up no positions. And I think that I think the game is just going to get more advanced to where centers now, if you can't shoot, you're not a good center. Or at least that's how the league is starting to view it. I think we're going to get to the point of like, even if a center, I think we're going to get to a point eventually where if a center can't ball handle,
Say it again, Crafty.
I think
say it again.
Eventually
Crafty.
in the league, you're going to have to be able to do everything, every player on the court, just because we're getting so more advanced and the league is just getting better and better at an ever going rate. More people are going to look up to Nikola Jokic and see how he's handling the ball if they're as tall as him, and they're going to want to play like him.
Yeah.
Just the same
Look
way
at
people
look
were
at
doing
the bottom of the barrel big men too. Like Bo doesn't get any minutes. He got in the game and cooked somebody at the perimeter at 7 foot. Like, you're gonna have to be able to do that. Like
That's
it's gonna
what I'm
have
saying.
to be that.
Yeah.
Eventually in the league, a player who can't ball handle, who can't shoot, who can't grab some boards, who can't body someone in the paint. If you can't do everything, I don't think you're gonna have a spot in the league here in 10 years, I would even say.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, there's gonna and Ben Simmons, if he doesn't shoot.
I already think that's detrimental to him. I'm on that train.
Oh yes, sir. We're on the Ben Simmons slander. We are on the Ben Simmons.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad we're on the right podcast.
Him, Giannis, and Zion all get the well, not Zion as much, but him and Giannis get the same treatment over here.
Oh well, I mean, I'd say that I think all of those guys and Ben Simmons, like with Giannis and Zion, are in completely different categories of how well they shoot than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons just won't even take the shot. At least Giannis has been showing that he's willing to try it.
Ben Simmons is the bottom of the barrel. Then you have Giannis in the middle, and then Zion because he has the most hope. I feel like he's gonna be better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's gonna get a lot better.
I think as he gets leaner, it's gonna be easier for him because it's a common thing. Like that the bigger a player is, like physically, how strong they are, how much mass they have, it is harder for them to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
I mean, I think as he gets leaner, it's just gonna be easier for him to shoot.
Yep.
All right. So how much time we got?
Like 10 minutes. So if we want to talk about the Mavericks and then get into these hot takes.
Oh yeah, let's run. Let's go ahead and talk about what you think the Mavericks got to do to get better. Two players that you want on the Mavericks that you think would make them a championship contender. Go ahead and speak your piece, Crafty.
Okay. I think they're both kind of unrealistic for us to get, but also at the same time they could be realistic because we do have valuable trade asset in Kristaps Porzingis. If we can get him at a time where he looks like he's done being injury prone, we can possibly get something out of him. I think that another guard to go alongside Luka would be perfect for him, just because Luka plays better at the point forward kind of play. He is the point guard of the team right now, and it's just not working out. I would like to see Jalen Brunson play more because
he's really good.
Jalen Brunson's good.
He's in, I think it's top 5 in true shooting percentage this season.
Yeah, he's very good.
Like, I would love to see him play alongside Luka, with Luka at a point forward position. That being said, I think there's two guys I would love to see, and I think it is Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal.
Yes, sir.
Both of those players would complement Luka Doncic's game so well, and all we have to do is bring up Jalen Brunson, who I think has so much untapped potential that the Mavericks, and like as a Mavericks fan, I say we just don't tap into.
Yeah.
I think
what about
against Boston,
Lonzo?
where this man scored like 10 points straight in the fourth quarter, trying to pull us back into the game.
And y'all's fourth quarter offense is abysmal.
Yeah,
Hey, we don't gotta talk about that. We don't gotta talk about that. I don't know why you had to bring that up right now. I don't know why that was important.
John Collins would fit
Lonzo
so
Ball?
well.
John Collins is another player. John Wall. I mean, I'm wearing a John Wall jersey right now. I would love to see it.
I feel like with Luka, you want to get either somebody who can just run the point guard, let him switch to point forward, they take turns playmaking, or you just get him like LeBron, what LeBron always gets to go to the championship, a versatile off-ball scorer and some shooters, and you just don't make it work. That's all you need.
We tried that with Josh Richardson, but then he's turning out to be exactly what I was afraid of, which is what he was last year. I think he shot 31%, not even 31. I think it was like 26% from three.
Gosh.
I could be wrong on that stat. I had it memorized at one point, but I totally forget what he shot last year.
Right.
But no, like when he came into the league, he looked like a really promising shooter too. And he just hasn't proven himself on the Mavericks. I think we should have traded him on the trade deadline because we know what works with the Mavericks. We know what works. At least I thought we did with Kristaps, but we know for a fact Luka works. Let's build around him. And like we all said, I mean, if we're just NBA fans, we might be a little bit more advanced than your average NBA fans, but we're just fans. We don't look at it as far as a scout does. How can we notice that LeBron and Luka are cut from the same block and they need the same pieces around them, yet the Mavericks can't?
Yikes.
Right.
Yeah, it is bad.
Like, as a Mavericks fan, that really upsets me that we can't figure out how to put a team around him that wins games.
And even Mark Cuban, he's not even one of those owners that are super like into advanced stats instead of watching the game. He's always watching the game, and I don't
always at the game.
And he beat LeBron doing the same exact thing, like exposing that you need these type of things around you.
I almost want to say there's a plan for it because the year before we got Luka, the season before, we were fined for tanking because Mark Cuban, I'm pretty sure he said it in an interview that we were tanking, which is stupid, or maybe it's not. But he's got good plans. Obviously, it worked out. We got Luka because we tanked.
Yeah.
And I think that there's maybe a plan that I'm not seeing. Obviously, like I said, I mean, he's got a solid front office around him. These are NBA executives who spent their lives dedicated to the NBA. There's something that we don't see. I just want to know what it is because I'm not seeing a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
Me too. What about CJ ain't really going to go nowhere, but I would like to see CJ in Dallas.
I would like to see that too. One player that I think it's a player that we could get right now is Kyle Korver. Like I said, we need shooters and we need scorers.
Plays basketball?
He is a free agent right now. I don't think we should pick him up to play him, or if we do, very garbage time minutes. I'm saying we need to pick him up because we got so many young players that if Kyle Korver can give them a shooting stroke, the reason Giannis shoots what he does now is because Kyle Korver tried to teach him how to shoot.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They're at least from videos I've seen, Kyle Korver was giving Giannis shooting lessons and his three-point percentage went up instantly. I would love to see that happen with players like Jalen Brunson. Tim Hardaway Jr. is almost a 40% shooter right now from three. I would love to see him reach that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we could, I think Kyle Korver just as a mentor, like the same reason people kept Vince Carter around for the last 3 years as a mentor.
Yeah.
Vets always help a locker room.
Yeah.
Just have someone in the locker room. I mean, that and we need someone who has a ring under their belt.
If there was a ranking for top 10 vets, Udonis Haslem is the GOAT vet.
Bro,
GOAT.
absolutely. I don't think he's played a game in like 2 years, but he's still getting paid just to be in the locker room.
GOAT. GOAT. That man's the GOAT.
No, literally, like I got a call from my cousin one day, and he just said, "I just noticed Udonis Haslem is still with the Heat," and he's like, "What does he even do?" Like he just sits on the bench and cheers him on and gives him
just hangs out with Bam.
That's what he does.
Imagine how much better he makes Bam every day, though. Like, just think about that. Like, all right. So we do what we do. Hold up. Oh, go ahead.
Before we get into hot takes, there's this person that be on the live. His name is B.Mike, and he's been asking for like the last 3 episodes. Start, bench, cut. Devin. It was Levine. Hold up. I hope he's in here.
Levine, Booker, and Mitchell, you said.
Yeah. Or I think it was Levine, D, Mitch, and Brown.
Oh, yeah, it was Brown.
Yeah.
I'm starting Levine, obviously.
Yeah. I'm cutting Jalen Brown. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If we're talking about this season, I'm cutting Donovan Mitchell and I'm benching Jalen Brown.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm doing that one too.
If we're talking about this
bench
season,
Brown,
we're talking holistically. I'm keeping Donovan, cutting Jalen Brown. But if we talking this year, Jalen Brown's just playing better, and he's just playing better. Absolutely. I don't think he'll continue to play better, but he is playing better up until right now. Right, so I have to cut Donovan Mitchell, and I love Donovan Mitchell. No slander, no Donovan Mitchell slander. Chat, we don't do that here, but he's just not playing as well as Jalen Brown right now.
Right now, I feel like with me, it's start Levine, and then Jalen Brown and Donovan Mitchell can just play rock, paper, scissors for that last spot. I don't really care.
I mean, even that, I'm okay with that.
You can just as long as Levine is starting.
Yeah, because he's just amazing. He's also one that needs his flowers. He's amazing.
This is related to my hot take for tonight, Jalen Brown.
I'd love to hear that. But what we're gonna do, Crafty, you're gonna get your hot take out of the way first.
I wasn't prepared for this. Like,
yes, we do. So whatever hot take that you may be afraid to say on TikTok, or that you have in your head that you know that people ain't really gonna like, it's your chance to say it. No explanation. You don't owe anybody an explanation.
No explanation.
You say it, and you said what you said.
Bro, I love this. I already like this. I mean, I have ones that I've said on TikTok, so I'm not even gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with one. I think Andre Drummond isn't overrated; he's underrated.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Sir. I'm so ready for after LeBron gets him. It's just gonna be unfair now. It's gonna be unfair once LeBron comes back.
At the beginning of the season, I said he was a top 5 center. I think that was a little bit overrated. No, I said that at the beginning of the season. I don't say that anymore. But people act like he's a role player, and I can't get behind that.
I think he's teetering the line. He's Rudy Gobert. Like he can give you those kind of situations.
I still put him over Rudy Gobert.
Whoa! Wow!
I said what I said.
Yes, sir.
I still put Andre Drummond over Rudy Gobert, 100%.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that was great. I love that. All right, that was crazy. All right, let's go, Liam. Since you said you had yours ready about Jalen Brown.
Wait, are we explaining ours from last time?
Oh yeah, you got it. We have to explain ours from last time. You go first, since I already.
Yeah, I'll explain mine. So mine was the one that I didn't think was a hot take at all, and it's that AI and Ray Allen are both better and greater than Reggie Miller.
I saw that on TikTok.
It's not. I'm not saying that like. I argue this so much that people think I don't like Reggie Miller. I do like Reggie Miller, but Ray Allen, just look at them as their as themselves at their best. Ray Allen was way more athletic than people gave him credit for. He was a threat to put it on the floor. He was a threat to attack the basket. And his jump shot was Ray Allen's jump shot.
A lot of people don't know. Early on, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant. Early on. People don't know that.
Together too.
Yeah, people don't know that Ray Allen and Kobe were like this. Kobe was better, but Ray Allen was right there. People don't know that.
Everybody always brings up that Reggie Miller got better in the playoffs. So did Ray Allen. Reggie Miller just happened to be the first option on his team. And when Ray Allen was the first option on his team, he got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but never won. But, Reggie just got to the finals. He didn't win the finals. Reggie probably was better suited to be a second option for a team.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Reggie Miller's buckets in his whole career came off of assists. He was mostly an off-ball player. And to me, if I'm going to say who's better or worse, I'm going to take the guy who can create his own shot better. Mm-hmm. If the numbers are that close, I'm going to go with the other guy. And Allen Iverson, I still cannot believe the amount of slander I see about Allen Iverson.
That one doesn't make any sense to me.
I
am Reggie Miller.
Reggie
Miller, bro. What does make sense?
I know people don't
heard
like
that TikTok. I disagreed. I was just like, yeah, he's right.
I know that people don't like to use accolades. They try to keep accolades out of the argument, but I think the accolades are so different in the Reggie Miller and AI case that I have to bring him up. Allen Iverson won MVPs. He was a 4-time scoring champ. He was a 13-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA. Reggie Miller was a 5-time All-Star. Those accolades aren't even compared. That's it.
You know who else is a 5-time All-Star?
John Wall.
I don't know. John Wall. Somebody random.
And Allen Iverson was an inefficient scorer, fine. But he was also on the worst space team I've ever seen in my life. They had no sort of options, and he was still one of the best playmakers in the league.
Well, you're going to be efficient. You're going to be inefficient if you're taking more shots.
He had no one else to TikTok.
Who's he going to give it to? Eric Snow?
Yeah.
In the TikTok I made
you
about
only
Iverson,
give it to
I
Eric
said
Snow so much. You only give it to him so much.
That's what
in
I'm
that
saying.
2001 finals run, Allen Iverson didn't score 30. I think it's 6 times in that playoff run. They went 2-4, and both of those wins were by 1 point. If he didn't score 30 points, they were losing. He didn't have a choice. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Me either. I forgot my hot take. What was my hot take again?
Was that the Tony Parker and Steve Nash one that I?
No, that was a couple. Was it the Christian Wood one?
I think it was Christian Wood.
Oh yeah, I said in a couple years, Christian Wood is going to be better than Giannis, and I just think the reason being is because his skill set versus his skill set is more compatible for the skill set that you're going to need to be successful in the NBA. Giannis is getting there. He's getting there. Christian Wood, he's already there. He can give you anywhere from 21 to 10 to 25 and 14. He can spread the floor. He plays great defense. He has pick and roll abilities. He's strong. He has post game. His defense could use a little work, but he's on the Rockets. Their defense as a whole is just bad. If you were to put Christian Wood on a team, I'll say this: if it's LeBron, you take Anthony Davis away from LeBron and give him Christian Wood, they still win last year. And he does the exact same thing. Yeah, he does the exact same thing. He's Jesus. He's a baby Anthony Davis. He does everything Anthony Davis does. Yeah. He can spread the floor, he can pick and roll, post game, mid range. He can put the ball on the floor. In a couple of years, Christian Wood is going to pass him when it comes to who we look at who's better. Giannis has 2 MVPs under his belt, so he'll always be higher on top 10s. But people who are better than Giannis at basketball is just going to be Christian Wood in the next 2 years. People are going to start realizing that. As long as Christian Wood can keep this production. Yeah. Right. I think he's better now, but the consensus, yeah. I'm always going to take skill over production because it's not 1999. You have to be skilled and produce. You can't just go slam at the rim and think anything's going to happen. You would rather have Luka than Giannis. If you had to say even if like unbiased, if somebody said you could have Giannis instead of Luka, you would tell them no 1,000 times. Like, no, why
You
would
make a
I
good
want
point
that?
there because I definitely would do that.
Because Luka is way more skilled. Yeah.
Like you said earlier, there's going to be you got to be able to with the
Do
way
everything.
basketball is moving, you just got to be able to do everything. And Giannis struggles with 2 levels of scoring that we've seen, and is in the one level that he's dominant in, his skill set in that level is pretty weak sometimes. Like it's pretty lackluster at times.
Yeah, but that was mine. Jay Bridges, what was yours?
On the topic of power forwards, my
Oh,
take
was
is
it
that
Jaren Jackson?
my take was that Jaren Jackson is up there. He's going to be up there with the ADs and the Julius Randles and the Christian Woods and that archetype.
I rock with that.
That's a great
Jaren Jackson, his post game and his defense aren't anywhere close to AD's level. It's probably about 2 tiers below. But like what he's like in his second year in the league, he hasn't played this whole season. Give him time, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He was the best shooting big man from 3 last season. He averaged like 7 threes per game and shot 40% from 3.
Which is crazy. That's so great.
He super athletic. Came in John Morant off a pick and roll. It's like a show.
Yeah.
What else? He runs the floor, pick and roll, pick and roll and pick and pop. That guy is a demon because you got to deal with a 40% shooter.
Yeah.
You get too close to him, he runs around you because he's just that athletic.
And then with athleticism, he was bound to be better on defense eventually. He has the touch with the shooting motion. He'll have a great post game eventually. He's just gonna be a dog.
I love that.
The sky is the limit for him.
I'm glad someone else loves Jaren Jackson Jr. as much as I do.
This podcast loves Jaren Jackson Jr.
My God.
All right, Cameron, Mr. This dude, you have to explain.
Get him. Yes, sir, Cameron. You know I'm in your
Wait,
corner.
what did you say?
I want to know what you said.
Oh yeah, I
The
had a
Hakeem thing.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
What would you say?
Hold up,
No.
Crafty. Just listen.
No.
I said Hakeem is not top 10.
I agree.
Oh shit!
Oh!
I agree.
Wow! What?
No, I want to hear how he explains it though. Because I thought I heard about that one, and I literally watched that and was like, why is everyone getting so upset with him? I agree.
And then like as the episode, like the ending of it progressed, I said Embiid's the best center we've ever seen.
Yep.
And Embiid is the best center we've ever seen. So when I ended to take with Hakeem, the first one, him not being top 10, it was like I said you can either get him or Magic out of your top 10. So the way that I do my list is I have 50% skill and 50% accolades. So my first 3 go Ron, MJ, Kobe. Then I have Shaq, then Kareem, then Magic, Bird, then Magic, Duncan, Bird. Wait, MJ? No, LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, Duncan, Bird, KD, Curry. That's my top 10 right there. And with the legacy that KD and Curry have right now, it's comparable with Hakeem's, and they're both simply just better in basketball than him. Like they're better than him. KD, I feel like no accolades, he's a top 4 player ever. I personally put him in my top 3 upper echelon players, but he's just that good. Curry, I feel like is just better than him. Like I take his offensive ability and the way that he can run a team over Hakeem, and then Hakeem, like it's not his fault that he played with Jordan, but he only has 2 rings, so I bump him out of there. And then now to the Embiid being the best center ever.
Wait, did you say he was the best center ever, or the best we've ever seen, as in like us being alive?
No, Embiid's just the best center ever. Like he's the best center ever.
Which I agree with.
Ever. Like
Count best.
Best.
Like you said, there's nothing you can't ask Embiid to do that he's not already doing.
Top 5 defender.
Oh,
he's not the best defender on his team because he simply has probably the best defender that we've ever seen on his team. And then he's able to get you in the low post, has the post game, not as good as Kareem, but is definitely up there with Kareem. Not Kareem. He has the post game like Hakeem, like it's slightly lower than Hakeem, but it's definitely upper echelon post game. And then this man can take you to the 3-point line, and he goes crazy at the three. He can take you off the dribble. He's currently a better 3-point shooter than his point guard, but that's besides the point.
So is Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre shoots better than his point guard.
You know that is crazy.
And like, bro, what Embiid? You can say Shaq, all right, he put up 30, but bro, it is 2021. If you cannot be a threat from the three, nobody cares. Everybody can dunk now. Like, nobody cares that you can dunk and take a drop step. All respect to Shaq, you're the greatest player. One of the greatest center I've ever seen, or the greatest center in my opinion. But bro, it's 2021. Come on, get you a three. And Candace, and he doesn't know how to switch on screens. He just doesn't know how to switch on screens. Like, bro, I'm not taking that in 2021. All they're doing is switching and running screens and doing all this. Candace Parker is out there breaking down how to switch on screens, and you're saying, oh, I never learned how to do this. I don't know how to do this, so I'm not going to do it. Bro, I don't want you on my team. You're not better than somebody who can do that, do the same drop steps as you, moves quicker than you while being 30 pounds heavier and probably just about your height. And then he's a serious threat from three. Like, I just don't want Shaq or anybody else because there's nobody else like that.
Yeah.
And he's elite everything.
He's at everything.
He's elite everything. And then I feel like if he had a point guard that would even have an inkling of a jump shot, you'd see him be a better playmaker because he wouldn't have to get triple teamed.
Yeah, bro. If D'Lo is on that team right now, they don't lose. They beat the Nets. In my opinion,
we gotta leave that there because we've said that only 1,030,000 times.
All right, let's get to these new takes.
All right,
I got a good one.
Jay Bird, you go first, then, man.
Okay. How do I put this in decent terms? Name me a player with like above average playmaking, but not like elite or nothing.
De'Aaron Fox.
You give KD De'Aaron Fox playmaking, he's better than LeBron.
Wow. Wow. Sure.
Wow. I can go with that.
I'm not going to explain it, but that's it.
Sure.
Wow.
That's it. I just didn't expect to hear that.
Wow. I definitely wasn't expecting that.
Yes. I could agree.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect to hear it though at all.
Definitely.
Liam, you're next. I want to hear this Jaylen Brown one.
It's not exactly a take. It's more of like a prediction. I think the Celtics are going to trade Jaylen Brown this offseason.
Whoa.
I agree.
I can't wait till next episode to hear your reasoning.
I agree.
I don't think it's a bad trade.
You already exposed Danny Ainge already.
Yes, sir. You already did that.
You told me
I think this could actually be a good move for the Celtics. So I think they would do well to trade him because his value is going to be high. I can't explain it. I'll explain it next time.
He can get his guru badge on bronze.
You get it on bronze.
Badge on bronze. Yes, sir.
I'll do a hot take for the youngins out there because I know they don't agree with me. It's not really a hot take, but people are going to feel like it is because, Anthony Edwards is just going to be better than LaMelo in 5 years. He's going to be the better basketball player. It's not.
Okay, hold on. Give us another one because we talked about this.
We already talked about that.
I need to watch that episode.
Okay, I'll give you another one then. Anthony Edwards is going to be top 10 in his position in 5 years as well.
All time?
No, no, not even. He's going to be top. Anthony Edwards is going to be top 10 in his position 2024.
I would by 2024, I would say he's probably top 5 in his position.
I was gonna say
top 5, top 2 shooting guard.
Because that's 3 years. He probably top 5.
I think in 3 years he can be better than Bradley Beal.
I like that. I don't necessarily agree, but I like it.
I was gonna say
3 years he's gonna be the best on his team.
Yeah, he damn near already is now without Cat out there.
No, he just is. He's better than anyone out there besides Cat.
Yeah, 3 years. I think he's better. I think it's going to be James Harden, Zach LaVine, Anthony Edwards.
Whew, I don't agree, but I like it.
You think he's going to be better than Paul George?
Paul George is a small forward at this point.
All right.
Hey,
I mean,
man,
that's what they say he is.
I mean, most players play two positions 50% of the time. So
I'll believe in Anthony Edwards. That's my boy. That's my boy. So.
Yeah, man,
I'm not a
dog.
big believer in him, but I can see where you're coming from on it.
I don't know why he's showing y'all right now after All-Star break. They said, "Oh, it's gonna slow down." It hasn't.
No, he's just fed up. I mean, he's putting up good. He's putting up production. I'm just not. I've never been a big fan of him. I've never had that high of hopes of him.
All right, Cameron. Now this guy, Cameron.
I don't know if we said this one. If we have said this one, I have another one. But
Cameron likes to go viral.
listen, I'm gonna say it real quick. MVP D Rose not a top 10 point guard in today's league.
Ooh.
Whoa!
He's not a top 10 point guard.
In today's league.
So let me piggyback off this.
Not a top 10.
Top MVP D Rose is not better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
No.
Oh my God! I don't agree.
He's going viral.
No.
He didn't lie. He didn't lie.
He's not better.
What? You got to remember even with his production.
No, he's not better than SGA.
His production was like 23 points per game.
He's not better than SGA.
SGA averaged like 22, 40% from three.
I can simply name 10 point guards right now that are better than him.
I don't know what to say.
I don't agree. I just don't agree.
Gotta explain it next time. Explain it next time.
Better than
Next time.
I would have to watch
All right,
this
man.
now specifically just so I can see that.
give LaMelo
Yes.
3 better than MVP Rose.
Whoa! Stop!
Give LaMelo 3 years, he's better than Rose ever was.
Stop saying that. Okay, look.
Man, this
Episode 9.
He hates D Rose.
Episode 9 is coming to an end. We have my boy Crafty. Hey, Crafty, thank you for being part of this podcast. We're gonna have to get you back on.
Bring me on
You
whenever
are an
my schedule's
amazing
usually
guest.
open.
Yes, sir. I'll let you know. We can bring you back as a recurring guest. You guys shout out all your Instagrams and your TikToks before we head out of here, man.
All right,
Whoever wants to go first.
_J Bridges on TikTok. _J Bridges with a Z on Twitter because one of you some freak took my name. S.O.L_J on Instagram. Get me to 100 followers on TikTok. Like I'm out here pushing these videos. I got like 79 followers. I'm getting 600 views, but I don't got 100. What's good?
Right.
I'm getting numbers, but I'm not getting no followers, no subscribers.
TikTok's been wild like that recently, dude. You can get a million on a video, and I'll get like no followers back.
And then,
out of it.
hold on, I appreciate y'all for one, because not even a whole week ago, we was asking for 200 subs, and we already have like 320 subs.
We're about to hit 400 probably next week.
Thank you.
Please
Appreciate everybody.
get us to 1,000.
Thank you.
Get us to 1,000. Yeah, just get us to 1,000.
We're gonna be popping champagne at 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm underage.
Are you?
I'm 19.
What?
Oh, for
What?
Yeah, I'm 19.
I thought he was like 23.
I thought he was 22.
You carry yourself in a very mature way.
Well, thank you.
Wait.
I literally just moved out of my parents' house 3 months ago.
When is your birthday?
My birthday's in October. I don't turn 20 until October.
What day?
The 12th.
Oh, damn, my birthday's October 28th.
You are barely older than me. You're barely older than me.
Hey, I'm only 2 years younger than you. That's crazy.
Me and Liam, the old head.
17?
Yeah, I'm 17.
I'm 19.
Me and Liam are 300.
I thought you was a clean 23.
All right. Liam, shout out to what you got going on.
At Limshady91 on TikTok and Twitter. Also, if you go to my TikTok, hit that Q&A section. I need those player reviews take a while. I need easier, quicker videos. So ask me questions.
Yes, sir. Cameron, go ahead.
Cam Major 0109 on all platforms. And please get us to 1,000 subs. Y'all been going crazy on the vids, and we thank you.
All the socials will be in the description too.
Yes, sir. Crafty, go ahead and shout your Instagrams and all that out one more time.
All right. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Both of them are They Call Me Crafty, no spaces, no capitals. You can find me on Twitter at Crafty TikTok. Basically, whenever I'm watching a game, I just say random stuff about the game. If you weren't watching it, you won't get it. That's fine. And then you can find me on YouTube, just at Crafty. Sometimes it's hard to find because apparently there's a bunch of arts and crafts channels that are bigger than me. So if you look up Crafty 2K, it'll link you to one of my videos. You'll find me there.
Nice.
You look up Crafty on YouTube, you see a bunch of Indian guys making a pool.
All right, man. That's
give me the 3,000 on YouTube. That's all I have.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That's episode 9. Thank you for 300 subscribers. Crafty, thank you again for being here. It's your favorite Hoopers, favorite podcast, and we out.